Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We now bring you a rerun of the press conference that was held between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the visiting Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune in Cairo on Tuesday. Let's take a look.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, my brother, Your Excellency President Abdelmajid Tebboune, the President of the Republic of Algeria, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it gives me pleasure to welcome my brother, His Excellency President Abdelmajid Tebboune, in the first official visit he pays to his second country, Egypt. Wishing him a good stay in Egypt, and I would like to seize this opportunity to express the great appreciation of Egypt to the historical deep ties between Egypt and Algeria. In light of the brotherly relations between the two brotherly countries and nations, as well as their joint objectives and goals. Today, I held talks with His Excellency President Tebboune, and they were constructive, during which we discussed different bilateral and regional issues and international issues of mutual interest between the two countries. And the consultations reflected our political joint will towards enhancing the distinguished relations between the two countries and upgrading them in different fields to more open horizons. And this can be done through enforcing the frameworks of cooperation and the consultation and coordination mechanisms at different levels, taking into consideration the common challenges facing Egypt and Algeria, one of which is achieving sustainable development, as well as confronting the external interventions in the region, fighting terrorism and extremism, in addition to protecting the concept of the state and the role of its national institutions. In this context, we agreed on the following: developing cooperation in economic, investment and commercial fields, as well as removing any obstacles in this context to achieve comprehensive development in the two countries, as well as maximizing the joint interests of the two countries. Secondly, giving directives to the line authorities in the two countries to hold the next round of the Supreme Joint Council, as well as the political consultation mechanisms to support relations and deepen the bilateral cooperation between the two countries, as well as enhancing coordination and cooperation regarding different issues of mutual interest. Continuing intensive cooperation in the field of fighting all forms of terrorism, as well as the importance that the international community would adopt a comprehensive approach in dealing with terrorism and its different dimensions, besides facing the terrorist organizations and groups without any discrimination or exceptions, as well as preventing them from polarizing and recruiting new elements and preventing them from reaching funding. In this context, we commended the efforts of Algeria in fighting terrorism in the Sahel and Sahara area in light of the challenges facing that area. On the other hand, we discussed the recent developments at the Arab arena. We agreed regarding the importance of supporting the joint Arab action mechanism to protect the Arab national security and protect the Arab countries. And in this context, I would like to express the wishes of Egypt to Algeria for the best in presiding over the next Arab summit. We discussed the recent developments regarding the Palestinian cause and the efforts exerted to protect the rights of the Palestinians, as well as achieving their aspirations to an independent state according to the borders of 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. We discussed also the recent developments in Libya Libya, we agreed regarding holding presidential and parliamentary elections in parallel in Libya, as well as the withdrawal of all the foreign mercenaries and foreign forces from Libya, implementing the resolutions of the Security Council and the Paris and Berlin agreements in a way that would help Libya be restored to the Libyans and achieve its unity, sovereignty and stability. On the other hand, we discussed the issue of water security in Egypt as part of the Arab national security, and we agreed on the necessity of protecting the water rights of Egypt as an issue of fate and destiny. And President Tebboune commended the efforts exerted by Egypt to reach a comprehensive, fair agreement regarding the filling up and operation of the Renaissance Dam. We agreed also on enhancing our joint efforts at the African level in light of the important role played by Egypt and Algeria in this framework, and to continue coordination and cooperation within the framework of the African Union and support stability, peace and security and development in the Arab continent in a way that would enable it to overcome any challenges and achieve welfare and stability for all Africans. My brother, Your Excellency President Abdelmajid Tebboune, I was so glad to meet you today, and I'm looking forward to more cooperation between our two countries in a way that would achieve the interests of our two nations and meet our aspirations, wishing Algeria the best and stability, prosperity under your wise leadership. And once more, we would like to welcome you in your second homeland, Egypt. Welcome, Your Excellency the President. The floor is yours. In the name of Allah, peace and blessing be upon Prophet Muhammad. Your Excellency President and Brother Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, let me express once more my happiness to be here with you on the land of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the country dear to us all. And let me renew my thanks for the hospitality we received since our arrival to Egypt. This visit enabled us to hold very fruitful, rich talks, as Your Excellency mentioned, that comes in the framework of continuous consultations between both of us regarding the bilateral relations and the role played by Egypt and Algeria and their contributions in developing Arab-African cooperation in a way that would achieve stability and security in the whole region. We emphasized the necessity of working together to enjoy the position our both countries deserve on the African levels and in southern the Mediterranean, as the Arab Republic of Egypt enjoys a historical, geographical, strategic location, and it can play a role in extending cooperation bridges between our Arab brothers in Asia. Of course, the main objective is facilitating investment and trade between both countries, and this was one of the topics that we discussed during our talks. We tackled the geo-regional political dimension in Africa and in the Arab region, and our goal would be a strategy of cooperation between Egypt, Algeria and Africa, and Egypt, Algeria and the Arab countries on the other hand. Our talks also covered different issues facing our region, be it the Arab region or the African continent, and we discussed the challenges facing us on the regional and international levels. And we found that there is a full understanding between us, and we have a lot of common viewpoints. We believe in the necessity of continuing our consultations, paving the way to the Arab summit that would be hosted by Algeria. And I seek, along with my brother President Sisi and the Arab leaders, to provide it with all the organizational matters it needs to enable us to reach common decisions that we look forward to, so as to develop the Arab joint action with a new spirit based on building upon our common viewpoints and our realization of the challenges within the international context and the international agendas, be it hidden or visible. And unfortunately, these agendas do not serve our common interests. We believe in the importance of extending cooperation and coordination and understanding at the regional level to help us all develop our countries. Thank you, Mr. President and my brother, for the hospitality once more.